right, guys. So today we're going to be taking a look at what is the process of accepting new ideas into any scientific discipline or any branch of science. What exactly is that process? And this is going to be focusing on the relevance of this to homeopathy, because this channel is about homeopathy, and I want to highlight the complete lack of vetting, the complete lack of peer review, the complete lack of every step of this process when it comes to homeopathy, or at least the people who do it, who do nonsense homeopathy nowadays. So what you have to do, understand, is that there's no governing body in the world of homeopathy, right? There's no scientific body which peer reviews, which accepts which vets new ideas and rejects or accepts them. So that is a big problem with homeopathy, because any kind of nonsense can make its way into it. And most homeopaths nowadays are not very smart, and they're just going to accept everything. And now it's being treated as fact. Whereas homeopathy is supposed to be a science, the founders of homeopathy intended for homeopathy to be a science and to evolve as a science in the future. And so that means the scientific vetting process applies to it. Some people say that homeopathy is not a science. Some people say it's science, but this kind of procedure is not that important. All those people are wrong, and I'm right. Okay, so if you have no acceptance procedure in homeopathy, you're going to end up with things like esoteric stuff. I'm not against esoteric stuff, but not in homeopathy, not in sciences. So you're going to end up with esoteric stuff in homeopathy. You're going to end up with like this kind of psychoanalytic stuff. Some people are doubling down on psychoanalytic stuff, needs to be in homeopathy. Or then it's going to be also full of stuff like symbology, esoteric symbology, classification based on various nonsensical, stuff like star signs, or you might know that some homeopaths categorize the remedies based on the periodic table, right? There exists the Jan Schulten method. That hasn't been peer reviewed. Nothing has been done to it. So you end up with a bunch of nonsense. And the reason we have a nonsense homeopathy today, most homeopaths practice nonsense, is because there's no scientific body and there's no scientific procedure, which should be there because homeopathy is a science. But so let's look at the procedure. What should the procedure be? Before we do that, let me just shout myself out. You can get in touch with me and request a consultation, a homeopathic consultation, at this Telegram address right here. It's going to be here, I think. Okay. So what's going on here? What is the scientific process of accepting new ideas into the canon? There is a 7-step process. Okay, I don't want to bore you to death. Heaven forbid. I would never want to do that to you. So there definitely is peer review, right? You have to publish your findings in a journal, and your peers are going to attack your ideas. Your peers are going to put you to the test, and you have to defend yourself. What do you have to defend? You have to defend your initial testing and experimentation. You have to present repeatable testing methodologies to prove your idea, and you have those are what you have to publish in the journal, right? You have to present those initial testing and experimentation. Results must be replicable and statistically significant. Yeah, we have the observation and hypothesis, of course. Could be anything like, oh, I had a wild idea for homeopathy to have this weird new method, okay, which a lot of people do. Or I have an idea, esoteric stuff might be good in homeopathy, okay? So then you have to do the initial testing experimentation, you have to do the peer review and publication, you have to defend your esoteric bullshit and hypothesis, okay? And there are even steps after that. Reproducibility, independent verification, other scientists attempt to replicate the findings. So if you have a weird idea that homeopathy should be like this or should be like that, I have to be able to do whatever your amazing new methodology involves. I have to be able to perform that and successfully treat patients. Debate and scrutiny. The idea is debated in conferences. In homeopathy, nothing is ever debated, right? We accept everything as fact, not we as in I, because most low quality homeopaths nowadays. Integration or rejection, right? If the idea consistently holds up to scrutiny and proves useful, it may be integrated into the accepted body of knowledge. If it fails to hold up, it may be revised, rejected, or relegated to the margins. And textbook adoption comes even later than that. Like some homeopathic schools, I don't want to name names. Of course I do. Like School of Homeopathy. They teach nonsense, right? They even give their students books about ideas just made up by someone in the 21st century. And they put that into textbooks. That's the last step. Step 7. So that's a very rigorous process, okay? And none of this has taken place in homeopathy. And homeopathy is not just a slop that you can just add more slop to, okay? It's a science. I'm just saying it because I'm just thinking what example I could give you. People like Steve Falconer, right? Who is like astrology integrated into homeopathy, chakras integrated into homeopathy. Doesn't know anything about the science of homeopathy, but is really popular on Odyssey and YouTube with his health stuff, which integrates homeopathy into a slop of esoteric bullshit. But that's just one example. We have in homeopathy, in professional circles, we have like serious professional names like Rajan Sankaran, who has been accepted as like the next father of homeopathy, and all he does is he doubles down on forcing psychoanalysis into homeopathy. And I know this is very boring for you guys. It doesn't matter, right? Homeopathy circles are not very interesting. But psychoanalytics is not part of homeopathy. Homeopathy is a separate, distinct methodology and a science. And so that should be protected. And this is the procedure which should be followed and is not followed by anyone, okay? Not even in the biggest names of homeopathy, not by the esoteric people, not by the conspiracy people. And then people are just clapping along and have no idea what's going on with homeopathy. I just want to want you to kind of try to process this, okay? Homeopathy is a separate science. You can't just take a homeopathic remedy and then just try it. You can't just prescribe something and something might happen, okay? Homeopathy is a serious science that was taught at universities in the US. Tens of universities, maybe hundreds of universities taught homeopathy on a university level because that's where it belongs. Okay, it doesn't belong to Steve Falconer. It doesn't belong to anybody. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for listening.